Hello, I'm Leah Remelay, the founder of Go for Pro, www.go4prophotos.com. Recently, we've been doing a series about the downtime in the photography business. We have a business that isn't very consistent a lot of the time. We have the really busy holiday season, spring gets busy, and then we have downtime. So what do we do in the downtime to make it effective and to make it so that we are ensuring a successful year for ourselves? So it's January. It's the perfect time to be thinking about what we can do to improve our business. One of the things that I talked about and encouraged was an exercise where you take the best session from the previous year and the worst session and you break them down. Just really dissect them. Find every single aspect of each of those sessions, from how the contact was made, if it was a referral or search engine, whatever it was, all the way to the most recent point of contact that you've had. And by taking that and breaking down all those different aspects and then cross-comparing them, you can find where there's room for improvement. You can find what went the same, what went different, and hopefully you'll be able to really pinpoint some of the things that made that worst session not so awesome. So I asked for photographers to submit to me their best and worst from the previous year, and I chose one of those and showcased it anonymously for the photographer on the blog. And with that, I want to go ahead and point out a few things that I noticed that I hope will benefit any photographer in their business. So first, let's talk about the best session that this photographer had last year. Their best session was a senior session. The sale was $975, which was their average senior sale session. And what made this session so great was a connection with the client. They talked about how the client just really got the style that they wanted to create and that they were really connected with each other in that form. Now, one of the first things that I noticed about this session was that it was a referral-based client. The reason that this is so great is whenever you have a referral-based client, you're already going to have a strong sense of trust established. This is because someone that they trust and know has told them that you're worth going to. And they've explained to them what to expect, how to handle themselves, what's going to happen, and that is going to break down some of those barriers. The next thing was that there was a lot of pre-planning that took place. So this was really great in the fact that they talked several times. They went back and forth about wardrobe and props and locations. They even went so far as to talk again the night before for some last minute things. And I think that each time that you talk and connect with your client, you're going to help them to feel more comfortable and confident for that photo session that's coming up. One thing that as photographers I seem to see being forgotten a lot is how intimidating it is to get in front of the camera. All you have to do is make video and you'll know what I'm talking about. So by having all of these contacts and points of connection, you're building trust, you're building a connection, and you're helping them feel good that the choices they're making are going to create great portraits, which is going to help not only for your session with how it goes, but also the end results and the sales that you're going to receive afterwards. The last thing that I really liked that this photographer did was that they booked and billed at the same time over the phone. This is so important for anybody who has problems with clients that are not showing up for their sessions or rescheduling multiple times. When you take payment over the phone at the time that you book the session, which is the only way a session will go on my schedule, you're not going to have to deal with that kind of stuff anymore because they're going to respect the money that they spent. And it really will take care of all those problems. So now let's go ahead and talk about the worst session that this photographer had last year. Let's see. One of the things that they talk about is that the client was 30 minutes late to the session. It was an afternoon session in the wintertime, so it's going to be getting dark quicker, so they were losing light, which it all snowballed. All these things created more problems. First thing that I would suggest is within your contract, you specify that if the client is not there within 20 minutes of their session time, that you will be leaving and that they will need to reschedule and pay the session fee again. Now, whether you hold to this or not is totally different. The point is, just by having it written there, hopefully you'll be able to avoid those kind of problems. The next thing is that they had a pre-consult, but there was only one pre-consult. It doesn't sound like it continued throughout and multiple times the way that first one did. And that created a problem because what they originally talked about for wardrobe and different things like that, when the session date actually came, it was a completely different color scheme. The props, the different things that she had chosen didn't match, and a lot of things were different, and left her, surprised. So if she had had those multiple consults the way she did with the best session, I bet she would have known about those things and been able to better plan. So there's one thing that you can see, obviously took place in the best and didn't take place in the worst, and there's your comparison. So you can find those things and start realizing what's not meshing up and what's going to create that good and bad experience. Another thing is with the order. So there had been some problems with, there's a minimum print order that this photographer does, I believe, in order to get digital negatives. And because it was the holiday times and she was really rushed, the client asked if she could make one order and get a digital negative, and then she would finish the rest of her print order later when she could think about it. Now, anytime that happens, you really don't want to, because that second order is never going to be as large as you would hope, or as they're telling you it'll be, because they've already spent some money. Now they're trying to be a little more careful. And maybe it won't even happen at all, which in this case is what took place. The way that I avoid this is in my ordering appointments, which I am a huge, huge advocate of ordering appointments, and I love teaching and sharing and helping photographers learn how to do in-person ordering and how to just make your sales be what you dream about. Which is something that I cover in my workshops and through phone consults, which you can see on the website. Anyways, with the ordering appointments, one thing that I do is they get special pricing on their ordering appointment night. So this helps avoid any, can we make an order later? Because they can ask, and I always want to tell them yes, and so I am able to say, yes, of course you can. However, the pricing is going to be the retail pricing, not your special pricing you're getting tonight. And I've never had anybody choose to do 2 orders. They've always decided that they can make up their mind that night. And what I've honestly found, even with my own, when I've had amazing photographers take our family pictures, and there's always those images that I connect to immediately and just fall in love with. And the same thing is going to happen for your clients. So I don't think it's unreasonable to think that they can make their decisions in one night. I think that's very doable. I think that's all the stuff that I wanted to cover. I hope this has been really beneficial for you and given you some good ideas to help work with your business. I hope you'll try the exercise and cross-compare and see what you find. And I'm wishing you a lot of success in this next year. Thank you.